Hi, first of all, let me just say thank you for engaging us. We're really excited.
Hi, Yolanda. Thanks for having us. This is LaMonica McIver.
Oh, I'm excited.
And I'm Joyce Beatty, Ohio.
I'm excited to have you ladies on. This is a big time. This is a big situation. And the fact that you have the bus tour coming through Georgia, I'm deep down South Georgia. And, we just want to hear what you ladies want to say to really encourage people to get out and early vote.
Well, we'll kind of tag team this. So I'll say a few things and then look over and we'll just kind of fill in.
Okay.
We think it's important for people to have information, to be educated on the two different visions so they know what their choices are. So often you have people who will say, why should I vote? And so we want to make sure, especially as the Congressional Black Caucus, because our leadership has been crisscrossing the country with Stephen Horsford on this bus tour, making sure that they know what this administration has done and the clear plan that Vice President Harris and Governor Tim Walz have and what they're working on. Everything from an economy opportunity to her plan that deals with housing and monies for small business and home ownership. But the other thing is they've taken 50% of our little black babies out of poverty, $65 billion to HBCUs, and $167 billion in loan forgiveness that went to some 60-plus million people. Mm-hmm. So when you talk about Black America and you talk about this bus tour, and we also talk about rural America. It is important because the questions we get, what are they doing for us? Why should we vote? What are they doing for inner city Black folks? Or what are they doing for rural America? And Black folks will ask us that, especially in the South. Mm-hmm. So we remind them of the value of SNAP. We remind them of all of the things we do in agriculture. And we remind them of environmental justice and all the FEMA dollars that have gone back to places. So those are some of the things we want people to know. Two different visions. Right. And I'll put it in a 3-letter word, like my little grandson said. We were talking about Project 2024 and 2025, and he said, that just sounds bad. So it's bad for Georgia, it's bad for Jersey, it's bad for Ohio, it's bad for America. Yeah. It dismantles everything we know, and that is part of the two different visions. A vision of democracy and freedom and joy and opportunity and justice versus a vision that is divisive, that is destructive, detrimental, discriminatory. So that's my opening statement.
and I'll just add on to that. It's two visions. One, we're not going back, just like our wonderful Congresswoman just said. Project 2025 is the new Jim Crow 3.0, and we will not go back. We're going forward, and that is the vision that we're on, that we are supporting. That's why we're kicking off our CBC tour right now on our way to go get the vote out. This is what this tour is about, because we know when we vote, we win. And that is exactly what we're going to be doing for the next couple of weeks until we have victory on November 5th. So, the picture is extremely clear. Folks have to make a decision, and we are here to make sure that folks are making the right decision and reminding them of things that are at stake. The Congresswoman talked about SNAP benefits, but we know Medicare and Medicaid is at stake. We know Social Security is at stake. There's so much at stake for this election, and so many people are always saying, we always say, oh, this is the most important election of your life. Well, no, this election, this one particularly, is the most important of our lives, and we have to get out here and vote. So, we have work to do, and we're rolling up our sleeves getting it done.
One of the questions I do get here a lot, especially I live in a community that's more leaning to the right, and we keep giving away all this money, and it's like, and when they say that, it's always directed, to more people of Black and brown people, where, if you really look into the countryside in those really deep areas in Georgia, in the rural areas, it's not all, people of color. So how do we really kind of get that to resonate with people here, that we're just not giving away free money to just everybody?
I think we have to do just what you said, because we know that we are disproportionately represented. And so when you hear monies, whether it's for HBCUs, or, if you start talking about small businesses, or if you start talking about poverty, people think that that's Black Americans, but it's everybody. White folks, brown folks also live in poverty, and at a greater number than us. And it's a good thing about us. We don't discriminate. We represent, as our chairman always reminds us, we represent 120 million Americans and some 80 plus Black Americans. And so that's everybody. And we work very actively with our Tri-Caucus. And, we're getting ready to have a Black man be the first Black American to be Speaker of this House.
Yeah.
Well, Hakeem Jeffries has already proven that it's not all about just serving Black folks. Now, obviously, that is a primary interest for the Congressional Black Caucus.
Right, of course.
Just as I remind people, if you were talking to the Hispanic Latino caucus, they're relentlessly only saying Latino. And, we will say Black Americans and all of America. Because that is our culture, to take care of people. And so I think it's important to give data and education and to break down the facts that we're still not getting enough.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And I really did. I had to throw that question out there because that's one of the main arguments I do have here. And I'm like, I'm not understanding. Everybody is struggling. Everybody sees the prices. So, of course, the economy is like a major topic, and of course, immigration as well. So again, what could you say to our folks to get out here and early vote, and why it is important?
Well, one, we want to give people time and let people know that they have different opportunities to vote, more days to vote. I think folks are getting that in Georgia, as we see record-breaking numbers in the last couple of days with folks getting out to early vote. They don't want to wait until the last day for November 5th to get out there and cast their vote. They're utilizing each and every day to get out there and vote. And our job is to make sure that those votes are going to Kamala Harris, to our ticket, and to, candidates and electeds up and down the ballot, because we need to make sure we deliver the House, we deliver the Senate, we deliver our local school boards, our local township committee positions, and we have to vote blue up and down the ballot. And so I think many folks are already taking advantage of that. They know what's at stake. The numbers don't lie. People can lie all day long, but the numbers don't lie. Folks are getting out there voting, and we expect thousands and thousands of more people to come out here in Georgia and cast their vote, and not just wait until November 5th. And they're beating the lines, beating the crowd, getting out there because it's a priority for them. And so we're going to make sure that we get more and more people out here to vote early.
Wow.
And I think we have to remind people, and what Monica just said, it reminds me about voting in every category. Yeah. Sometimes we sleep on our judicial races. And one thing I'm making an extra point of is to make sure that we vote in those races, because if we don't have a farm team, then we don't get another Ketanji Brown Jackson.
Absolutely.
Because you just don't walk in and get appointed by a president to the Supreme Court. They want to know, who did you clerk for? They want to know what courts you served in. So we have to double down, because we know Donald Trump packed the Supreme Court with his justices, and as a result of that, look what happened to Roe v. Wade. Look at what's happening to DE&I. And so we may have an opportunity, again, the most consequential election in our lifetime, to be able to pick up 2 justices. And that alone should make people go out and vote. Because also, let's bring it home. Let's think about our criminal justice system. And we know, again, disproportionately, little Black boys are incarcerated at a greater number than what we should be for the population of little Black boys in comparison to others.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I know you guys you're on a time schedule, going to be making some other calls. Congresswoman LaMonica McIver, and as well as Congresswoman Joyce Beatty. I appreciate you calling the Yolanda Neely Show. And we're definitely going to get the word out for sure.
Thank you, Yolanda. Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. Y'all be blessed and be safe on that road, okay?
All right.
All right.
Thank you. Take care.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right.